Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here. Hey, today in Lazy Chef Cooking, we are gonna make New York Bakery Texas toast. Yeah, that's kind of opposite, New York and Texas there. Well, really, this was the type of Texas toast that was on sale when I went to Kroger's. So really, you could use any kind of Texas toast to do what we're doing. Today we're gonna use the Presto Pizzazz pizza cooker, and we're gonna see how it cooks this toast. Never tried this before. But really, anything that can be baked can be made on this. Well, at least that's the theory I'm going by, and that's what we're trying. So it might work out and it might not. Now let's talk about the one thing that comes up in every video, and I hear this from several people. Are you really saving any time or effort when you use this opposed to using your oven? Now I would say generally yes, and let me explain why. The package here says it takes 5 to 8 minutes. So if you want it crisp and dark, you're going to be closer to that 8 minutes than really in all practical application. Anytime something says takes 8 minutes, it's going to take anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes, okay? So, you have to heat the oven up. Older ovens don't have the problem that these new energy-efficient ovens have. And let me tell you, our old place, before it burned down, had an older oven. Man, that thing would heat right on up. Both those heating elements, the broiler element, the other one would just crank on up and you'd get up to preheat about 5 minutes. I mean, it would be nothing. That's not how it is with these modern ovens. This new place we moved into, it had a brand new oven installed. So I was the first person to use it. I was there when it was delivered. It may not be a fancy appliance, but it's a Kenmore. It's a real brand. It's not something you've never heard of before. And it actually takes between, I want to say 12 to 15 minutes to preheat this thing up to 400 degrees. Now let's contrast this to the energy efficient oven we have at our kitchenette down at work, where the running joke there is if we're going to throw something in the oven, you need to start preheating that thing half an hour prior to you want to cook. And really, it's not far off from that. I don't know what brand oven that is, but it's a name brand because they got all the appliances to match, the dishwasher, the refrigerator, the oven, with the stainless on it. So yeah. And it's new. Well, it's about 3 years old now. It's one of those ovens that has the oven on the bottom and you have your flat glass stovetop, so it's not an older style. And it has the microwave built in up top. That one at work, really to go up to 425, it's going to take you about 22 minutes of preheat time. I know, men don't preheat, dudes don't preheat. With the older ovens, man, never had to. With these new things, I made a mistake. I put a tri-tip roast, one of those Omaha steaks, frozen tri-tip roast, in the oven. All I had to do was thaw it out. So, it was like a 35-minute thaw out, and brown the top. It was the first time I used the new oven here in our place, and I slapped that thing in there, and I started the preheat, because it used to be on the older ovens. You were at risk of burning your food if you put it in during that preheat time, because the heating elements would just crank nuts out to get up to, operating temperature. And as you guys know, I like my food well done, so when I put that tri-tip roast in there, which sort of only went from, I don't know, I want to say it was around 37 minutes, so 35-ish, 40 minutes, whatever it was. I put it in for 15 minutes longer because I wanted it to be well done. Because when you get those things, oftentimes they're pink inside. I didn't want pink inside. I wanted well done. So I operate just like I used to with the old oven. Turn the thing on, put the roast in there, put the foil around it, bam, put it in there, set the timer for 45, 50 minutes or so. I pull that thing out, yeah, it's hot, okay, and I open the foil, and I cut into it, and it was still cold inside. Wasn't frozen, but what the heck, I put it in for longer than it said. And then it dawned on me, oh no. Is this new Kenmore oven like that one we have down at work, that, that Energy Star, energy efficient thing? So that was the problem. And yeah, it's disappointing because, I'm the kind of guy, just slap that thing in there and just roll with it. I'm the kind of guy that cooks frozen pizzas that aren't supposed to be cooked in the microwave. I cook them in the microwave and eat them soggy. Well, that was before I got this pizza cooker. I'm not firing up the oven to cook a frozen pizza. And that was my attitude well before it took forever to heat an oven. I just didn't want the whole oven heating up the whole kitchen, and it's way more effort than I want to put into things. So that's why I like this pizza cooker. Just take it out of the box, slap it on there, turn it on, bam. So when we look at how long this takes, is it comparable to using the oven? Like I said, I think it is, and sometimes it's actually quicker than using the oven if you have to take into consideration the preheat time. Now, if you have an older oven and you don't have to take in preheat time, you just slap that thing on in there, then yeah, you're good to go. That would definitely be quicker than this. But that's also going to heat up your whole kitchen. This isn't. One other thing about this pizza cooker, and maybe I haven't mentioned it in the past, maybe I have. If you wonder why it doesn't get all hot when you got that big old heating element in the bottom, big old heating element on the top, is because you have a fan that blows the heat down on the food. That's why they have that cool down cycle in the end, where the element is shutting off and then it's still blowing air on it so you don't overheat something or burn something. And I don't recommend this, but I did this. I don't recommend doing this. I'm going to say you can try this. So when it was running, it was during that cool down section, I kind of put my hand there. Oh yeah, that is a fan. Well, I heard there was a fan. I thought it was just, I don't know what it was. Exhaust fan or something. It wasn't. It's actually blowing the heat down onto the food. And yeah, it's counterintuitive to think, how does this thing cook? It only cooks one little pie wedge at a time. But man, it works. And as I mentioned before, with this, cleanup is a breeze. I wait for it to mostly cool off. I don't want it super hot, but it doesn't have to be all the way cool. I run it under warm water, not even hot water. I hit it with a little bit of soap, and then, bam, put a sponge on it, and it's clean. It takes longer to dry the thing off than it does to wash it. Now, so far I'm a fan of it for certain things, and I haven't posted the video yet, but I did try cooking something, and it was just a total failure on this, and I definitely will post that video. It's ready to go. Aside from that, I haven't run into anything that didn't turn out okay or turn out great. And when I say turn out okay, would it have been better in an oven or a toaster oven? Yeah, maybe. But it wouldn't have been as convenient, as easy as this. Now, there is one big downside to this. I have 2 of these now, and we have 2 down at work. The big downside to this is if you have a bigger family, if you're cooking for more than just 2 or 3 people, then this isn't going to be as efficient. So you're cooking Texas toast, you might make enough toast for 3 people, 4 people, if you're cooking frozen pizzas, you're going to have to play the game we used to play. When we only had 1 of these down at work, you'd put the pizza on, and then when it was ready, you would start eating on that pizza as the next one was cooking. That can definitely draw out the time you're eating. It's not horrible. We do that with 2 of these at work. We'll cook between 4 and 5 pizza, just one after another, ding, and it comes off, and slap that other one on, and then you're cutting this pizza, then you're eating some pizza. But yes, if you're cooking for more than just a couple people, then this may not be as efficient. But if it's just the 2 of you, or the 2 of you and a kid, then this is perfect. Cleanup time is next to nothing. Cook time is reasonable. And most importantly, especially in the summertime, you're not heating up the entire kitchen in which to do this. At least that's, those are my thoughts on it. You guys can have other thoughts. But really, I am very impressed with this for the things I have tried it. Except that one thing, I just did not work and it failed. But you guys know why, I do lazy chef cooking, because sometimes, firing up an oven, that's more effort than I want to put into something. I have video, ain't posted it yet, if you haven't used it. If you ever used those hard-boiled egg cookers, they're great. You hard-boil 7 eggs in, 6-7 minutes? I love hard-boiled eggs, but, that's more effort that I want to put into it if I had to take a pot, put some water, boil these eggs. That's more effort than I want to put into it. So before we had the egg cooker, I would buy the pre-cooked hard-boiled eggs at Kroger. And, sometimes they were reasonably cooked and they'd be fine, and sometimes they'd be rubbery, and it was hit or miss. But I'm not gonna, they already came peeled, so there was that. But I don't want to put that much effort into something. I'll just move on. All right, so Here is our first attempt at Texas toast. It worked out really good. You have nice browning and darkening on the top, and on the bottom you have the little dimples from the rotating pizza tray. That's kind of cool, right? All right, so have you ever seen one of these before? Do you have one? Are you still skeptical about it? Did you know you can cook other things on this? You know, I'm going to try those frozen paninis. You know, them little sandwich things. I'm going to try maybe that one of these times because really it's a cooker. I used to have a toaster oven. I love the toaster oven, but it was hell to clean. That it just got to the point that it just wasn't worth using. I thought, oh man. All right, so leave your comments in the comments section. As always, thanks for watching. Ow, 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 ow. Here's the backside. Top side. Ow, 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 ow. Backside. Hot! But it smells good. Garlicky delicious.
Beanmeister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.